people out into the world feeling differently about themselves. To say, I don't care what your day was like before you walked in these doors, but I promise you it's going to be better when you leave out of these doors. And isn't that what we're called to do?
Yes.
Isn't that what we do for each other?
Yes.
We don't meet strangers. We don't have family members that we ever leave behind. We don't find somebody and look down on them unless we're going down to pick them up.
Yes. Yes.
And that really is what our calling is in this life. And I feel that so strongly in these doors. And I heard so many different amazing stories. Each one of you could be a book or a movie into yourselves. And yet there's something that strings all those stories together. I said we all have different versions of the same story. It's a story of hope,
Yes.
a story of possibility, a story of faith. And you all are walking the walk. You're living out your faith. And that's changing not just this community here in Petersburg, but you're inspiring people throughout Virginia, 8.5 million people that I'm proud to represent as Lieutenant Governor, but also around this country and around this world at a moment where we need light in the middle of darkness. People are searching for the light. And you all are providing that right now for so many. And I connect with it very deeply personally because this really reminds me so much of my family story. I was raised actually in inner city Washington, D.C., Northeast D.C. And we moved there in the mid-1980s. My mother and father got divorced. I love them very much, but my mom had to take all 4 of her kids and start all over. She moved us in with my late maternal grandparents, 2 extraordinary people, went to Howard University. Grandfather worked at the Postal Service for over 45 years. Wow. Grandmother worked as a nurse at Freeman's Hospital for over 40 years. And we moved into their tiny row home in D.C. They didn't have a lot of space. They did not have a lot of money, but they had a lot of love for their family. And so they took all 5 of us into their home. And that single act of love and generosity and courage changed the entire trajectory of our lives.
Amen.
It helped my mom, who worked as a pharmacist, work the hours that I know are being worked by women here and men, but particularly black women. I want to lift them up right now in this moment. I have seen black women change the course of history.
Yes, sir.
For so many people. I see it in my own family. And my mom was able to then save up enough money, work with so many people to put all 4 of her children, 3 boys, 1 girl, through college and 2 of us through law school, starting from that very difficult place.
Yes, sir.
And what I tell people is that the only thing that really made that journey possible is something that I like to call spiritual wealth. We didn't have a lot of money, but we had faith.
Yes, sir.
And we had hope. And we had opportunity, just like the opportunity exists right here that you're giving to so many people.
Yes, sir.
And what I believe is that when you have that spiritual wealth in your life, you then have a spiritual debt that you must repay.
Yes.
You got to go out there and make that story possible for somebody else. Do what somebody did for you. And that's what I've heard through every single one of these incredible stories, is that you didn't take the treasure that you got. You didn't take the good fortune. You didn't take what someone else sacrificed to give to you and bury it deep. You said, I'm going to take this out to the world and I'm going to multiply it. And that is why you are touching the lives of so many people. And so no matter where anyone starts, how much money their family has, the color of their skin, who they love, you're showing them that you have value, that you are worth everything in this life, and that you should have dreams that are bigger than anything you could imagine. And so I am just so grateful to every single one of you. I'm grateful to your leaders here in Petersburg, where I spend a lot of time. I've been here so many times. And can I just tell you, my other mom is Vanessa Crawford, the sheriff of City.
She's my mom too. So we must be brothers.
Yeah, I know. We're all related. I'll just say, this is the mom of so many. And by the way, she was just on the news. Y'all see her on the news getting another award as an extraordinary woman. Ladies, you see this?
Yes.
She deserves it. Your chief has done an
Yes,
extraordinary job. Your senior treasurer, clerk of court, you got everyone who's running for office here. And I want to just thank you all so much for the inspiration that you're giving every single day.